Alright guys, so let me give you some more editing tips using Maya. Now Maya is a very powerful tool, and the last, I don't know, 4 versions, they decided to try to implement more things that are similar to other 3D programs, such as 3D Studio Max. And one of those being when I grab an object or item, I can go to Move Tool, and that's also the W key. You can also double click to get your tool options to come up. They've had it where, well, this one they've had for a while. Like you can switch to Object, World, to be able to move stuff. They even have local, and local comes in handy when you have your face and you have, hey, I want to be able to grab a face at an angle. You can go to local, and typically it should switch. Even normal at times would work, but you'll notice in newer versions of Maya the normal tool doesn't quite work as well as it should than earlier versions, which would take on a normal move tool. But in that case, what you can do is you can set your movement to face, and what you'll do is select a face, and then now you'll be able to move it according to what that face looks like in its 3D environment. Now 3D Studio Max for a long time had it by default. Later on they had it so you could switch it back and forth, and this is a really powerful tool because then you can pull exactly how that face is related to its 3D environment, which is pretty cool. So this is your custom axis orientation. Again, you can go back to Object. You can try local. You'll notice not much will be changed. Normal used to be able to work. There's also world, and you'll notice a lot of these are just pretty consistent because what's happened is Maya doesn't quite know how to define this unique piece of geometry. So to do that, you can set it to point, edge, or face. In this case, we would want face, and you can select whatever face angle you have. You have it set on the preferred angle. Notice that one's a little bit more to the side based on its particular angle. Then click on this guy here. You'll notice it's a little bit different. It's based on this guy's angle. Now, if it does give you trouble, you're like, man, this custom angle, and it's still a little bit wonky, it's supposed to be able to fix some of those issues, but still, it's not quite perfect. You can also set it to edge. If I grabbed an edge, let's grab an edge. You can have your movement tool be based on that edge. We don't want faces, dude. On edges, so just calm down. Alright, there we go. And you can see that the edge tries to relate it to the real world. You can go to object mode, again world mode. You can go to local mode, and so it tries to do it as best as it can, but these are the closest you can get to maybe getting your faces to obey you to get the correct angle. It isn't always perfect. You can say set the face, click this guy, and you'll see now it's a little more flush than the other ones. The one we clicked here was a little janky. So it does sometimes have a little bit of a refresh issue too. Keep that in mind though, 2012 does have a few refresh issues. Not quite sure why yet, but it is still a powerful tool. And those are just some of the things you can do for editing, for selecting. If it doesn't quite take the first time, deselect it, select it again, and you should be able to see it update and take on the angle of that particular point, face, or edge. Alright, that's about it on this one.